He woke up with a sharp pain in his head and a strange blue light above his eyes. For a few seconds, he thought he was dead. The ceiling was not a ceiling at all. It moved like liquid glass, glowing softly, breathing in slow waves. Symbols floated. Across it, shapes he had never seen before. The air smelled clean, almost sweet, nothing like alcohol or smoke. His name was Ethan Cross, and the last thing he remembered was drinking too much on a space station bar at the edge of human space. He tried to sit up. That was when he felt it. The bed was warm, too warm, and he was not alone. Ethan froze. Slowly he turned his head. Beside him lay a woman, or something that looked like one. Her skin shimmered like silver blue metal under soft light. Her long hair floated slightly, as if gravity itself bowed to her. A crown of living crystal rested on her head, pulsing faintly like a heartbeat. Her eyes were closed. She was tall, powerful, and terrifyingly calm. Ethan swallowed hard. "This is a dream," he whispered. The woman opened her eyes. They were gold. Not yellow, not amber. Gold, like molten stars. She sat up in one smooth motion, her gaze locking onto his. The room hummed, as if the ship itself had noticed her waking. "You are awake," she said, her voice calm, deep, and heavy with authority. Ethan's heart slammed against his chest. "Yeah," he said weakly. I think so." She studied him in silence, head slightly tilted, like a scientist observing a rare creature. Then she smiled, slow, confident, dangerous. "You are human," she said, "smaller than I imagined." Ethan looked around the room. Alien walls, alien symbols, alien bed. "And you," he said carefully, "are definitely not from Ohio." Her smile widened. "I am Queen Alira of the Jiran Dominion." The words hit him like a punch. Queen Dominion. Ethan slid off the bed so fast he nearly fell. "Queen," he repeated, "as in ruler, as in powerful alien empire ruler." "Yes, okay," he said, rubbing his face. "That's bad. That's very bad." Alira watched him with interest, not anger. "You drank with my guards," she continued. "You challenged my champion to a strength game. You lost. Then you laughed. Then you told me humans fear nothing." "That sounds like something I would say drunk," Ethan admitted. "You amused me," the queen said. "So I brought you here, to your bedroom," Ethan asked. She stood towering over him, even barefoot. She was taller, stronger, and carried herself like the room belonged to her hand. "Everyone in it." "You slept," she replied simply, "nothing more." Ethan let out a breath he did not know he was holding. Before he could speak again, the air split with a sharp sound. A door of light opened. Another woman stepped through. She looked exactly like Queen Alira. Same face, same golden eyes, same power. Only her expression was very different. Angry. Alira, the newcomer, snapped. "What have you done?" The queen did not turn. "I brought a human," she said calmly. The second woman's eyes locked onto Ethan. Her gaze was cold. "So this is him," she said, "the human male." Ethan raised one hand slowly. "Hi," he said. "I'm starting to think I should apologize for existing." The queen finally turned. Alira, the second woman, said sharply, "I am your twin, and you crossed a line." Twin Ethan's brain struggled to keep up. "You cannot claim him without council approval," the twin continued. "Do you know what this means?" The queen faced her fully now. "I know exactly what it means, Lysera," Alira replied. "It means the human chose me." Ethan blinked. "I don't remember choosing anything," he said. Both women looked at him at the same time. Lysera stepped closer, circling him slowly. "Human," she said. "Do you know what happens to those who attract the attention of a Giran queen?" Ethan shook his head. "No," he said. "But I feel like you're about to tell me." Lysera smiled, but there was no warmth in it. "They become valuable." Alira moved instantly, placing herself between Lysera and Ethan. "He is under my protection." Lysera's eyes flared. "For now?" The room vibrated. Power filled the air, thick and heavy, pressing down on Ethan's chest. Two queens, two forces. And him, a human from Earth, standing between them. "This was supposed to be a hangover," Ethan muttered. "Not an interstellar war." Alira glanced back at him. "Human," she said softly. "Do not underestimate what you are." Lysera's voice cut in like a blade. "Or what we are." willing to fight over. Outside the window, massive alien ships drifted into formation. Ethan looked from one twin to the other. He had gotten drunk, he had woken up beside an alien queen, and now 2 rulers of a star empire were staring at him like he was the prize. This was only the beginning. The silence broke first. Alarms did not sound. No guards rushed in. But the air itself felt tense, like the ship was holding its breath. Ethan stood very still. Queen Alira lowered her glowing crown slightly, a clear sign of control. Lysera, her twin, crossed her arms, her eyes never leaving Ethan. "You should not be here," Lysera said to him. "A human on the royal flagship will cause chaos." "I agree," Ethan replied quickly. "I would also like to not be here." Alira turned her head slightly. "You will speak when spoken to." Ethan nodded at once. "Yes, Your Majesty, both of you, respectfully." Lysera gave a short laugh. "He learns fast," she said. "That may be why you like him." Alira ignored the comment. She tapped the air, and a floating screen appeared, filled with strange symbols. When she spoke, the symbols shifted into basic English. Ethan's eyes widened. "You speak English?" he asked. "We learned your language years ago," Alira replied. Humans spread quickly, loudly. "That sounds accurate," Ethan said. "Lys." Sarah stepped closer again, her voice softer now but more dangerous. "Do you know why a human is rare in our space?" she asked. "No," Ethan answered. "But I feel like it's not good, because humans adapt," Lysera said. "You survive where others fail. You resist mental pressure. And most important," she leaned in, "you bond," Ethan swallowed. "Bond how?" Alira answered instead, emotionally. "Loyal by choice, not control." Lysera straightened. "A Gyran queen does not take mates lightly," she said. "When one shows interest, the Empire watches." Ethan raised both hands. "Just to be clear," he said, "no one asked me about mates." Alira finally looked at him directly. "You slept in my presence," she said. "You did not fear me," you joked. "You spoke truth without thinking." "I was drunk," Ethan said. "Truth comes easiest then," Alira replied. Lysera turned away, pacing. "If the council learns of this," she said, "they will demand tests, trials." "Ownership?" Ethan frowned. "Ownership?" Alira's jaw tightened. "They will say, you belong to the Dominion." Ethan felt cold. "I don't belong to anyone," he said quietly. Both queens stopped moving for the first time. Something like surprise crossed their faces. Alira studied him again, slower now. "You refuse?" she asked. "I didn't cross." "The star is to be property," Ethan said. "I didn't even mean to cross the bar." Lysera stared at him, then smiled, this time with interest. "He speaks like a free one," she said. "Dangerous?" Alira stepped closer to Ethan, lowering her voice. "Human, if you leave this ship, the council will take you," she said. "If you stay, you are under my protection. And if I don't want either?" Ethan asked. Alira's eyes softened just a little. "Then you choose the hardest path." Lysera stopped smiling. "There is another option," she said. "He could be tested." Ethan's heart dropped. "Tested how?" Lysera's eyes gleamed. "Strength, will, loyalty." Alira shook her head. "No, he is not a weapon. Not yet," Lysera replied. The ship suddenly jolted. A deep voice echoed through the chamber. "Royal alert! Council vessels approaching." Ethan felt his stomach sink. Lysera turned to Alira. "You see," she said, "your mistake has already reached them." Alira clenched her fist. They moved faster than expected. Ethan looked out the window. Massive ships, far larger than the one they were on, dropped out of hyperspace. Their hulls were dark, sharp, and covered in glowing runes. "How long do we have?" Ethan asked. Alira answered without hesitation. Lysera looked at Ethan one last time. "Human," she said, "when they arrive, you will be asked a question." Ethan met her gaze. "What question?" She smiled again. "Which queen do you stand with?" Outside, the first council ship powered its weapons, and Ethan realized something terrible. Getting drunk was the smallest mistake he had made. The real choice was about to begin. The ship shook again. This time, it was not a warning, it was a command. A deep pulse rolled through the walls as the council fleet locked onto the royal flagship. Lights dimmed, then stabilized. Guards in dark armor rushed past the doorway. Did not enter. They were waiting. Everyone was. Illyra turned to Ethan. "Stand behind me," she said. Ethan did not argue. Lasara moved to the opposite side of the chamber, her posture calm, her eyes sharp. She looked less angry now and more focused. The voice filled the room, cold and powerful. Queen Illyra, Queen Lasara, opened the chamber. The air split again. A massive hologram formed in the center of the room. 3 figures appeared. They were taller than the queens, their forms wrapped in shifting energy armor. Their faces were hidden behind masks of living stone. Symbols burned across their chests. The High Council Ethan felt pressure crash into his mind like a heavy wave. His knees almost buckled. Illyra noticed instantly. She placed one hand on his shoulder. The pressure eased. Lysara's eyes narrowed. "He resists," she said softly. Without training, one of the council figures spoke. "The human male is present, yes," Illyra replied. "Under my protection. Protection is not ownership, Queen." Ethan cleared his throat. "Good," he said, "because I don't belong to anyone." The pressure doubled. Illyra stepped forward. "Speaks freely by my leave." Silence followed. Then, slowly, the pressure faded. "Interesting," the council voice said. "Human, you will answer us." Ethan took a breath. "Okay," he said, "but I don't kneel." Lysara smiled faintly. "Ethan Cross," the council said. "You have drawn the attention of 2 queens. This has not happened in our history." "That sounds unhealthy," Ethan said. "You will choose," the council continued. "Queen Illyra, who claims you by bond, or Queen Lysara, who claims you by trial." Ethan looked at both of them. Illyra's gaze was steady, protective. Lysara's was sharp, challenging. "What happens if I choose neither?" Ethan asked. The council paused. "Then you will be taken, studied, controlled." Ethan clenched his fists. Illyra shook her head slightly. "Do not force him," she said. "Choice is already given," the council replied. Lysara stepped forward. "If you stand with me," she said, "you will become powerful, feared, respected." Illyra spoke next. "If you stand with me," she said softly, "you remain free." Ethan laughed once, short and bitter. "Funny," he said. "One offers power, one offers freedom. Humans usually pick the wrong one." He took a step forward. The entire chamber tensed. "I choose," Ethan said slowly, "to stand as myself." The council's energy flared. "That is not an option." Ethan looked up, then make it one. Silence fell again. Lysara stared at him, truly shocked now. "He defies the council," she said. Openly, Illyra's lips curved slightly. "He is human," she said. "We do that," the council spoke again, colder this time. "Very well, human Ethan Cross. You will face the trial of presence." Ethan blinked. Trial of what? The floor beneath him vanished. He fell. Darkness swallowed him as the chamber disappeared. Above, Illyra shouted his name. Lasara watched in silence. Ethan hit solid ground hard. Knocking the breath from his lungs, he coughed and rolled onto his back. Above him, stars burned in a fake sky. A voice echoed from everywhere and nowhere. "Survive, being seen?" Ethan sat up slowly. "What does that mean?" he asked. The air shifted. Something ancient noticed him. Something very old, and for the first time since waking up, Ethan felt real fear, because whatever was watching him did not see a human. It saw a challenge. Ethan stood alone. The ground beneath his boots was smooth black stone, warm like living skin. The sky above was false, filled with frozen stars that did not move. No walls, no doors, no exit, just space. The voice returned, deeper now. "This chamber reflects truth." Ethan took a slow breath. "Great," he said. "I was hoping for something simple." The air thickened. Shapes began to appear in the distance, huge shadows, forming and breaking like smoke. Ethan felt their attention press against his thoughts. He grabbed his head. Memories flashed: earth, blue skies, his small apartment, his mother's voice, laughter in the bar. The first drink, then the last. The pressure increased. "Okay," Ethan muttered, forcing himself to stand straight. "You want truth? Here it is." He looked up. "I'm not special," he said loudly. I'm not strong. I don't have powers. I mess up a lot. The shadows paused. But I choose, Ethan continued. That's what humans do. We choose even when we're scared. The air trembled. One of the shadows stepped closer. It formed into a massive eye, glowing white and endless. You are afraid, the voice said. Yes, Ethan replied. Every second. Then why do you stand? Ethan thought of Ali, hand on his shoulder, of Lysera's sharp smile, of being told he would belong to someone. Because if I kneel, he said, I stop being me. The pressure spiked, then cracked, the eye flickered. High above, unseen, the council watched. LYS. Sarah leaned forward. He is breaking alignment, she said. That should not be possible. Alira said nothing, her hands clenched. Inside the chamber, the shadows pulled back, forming tall figures made of light and darkness. They circled Ethan slowly. This trial has ended lives, the voice said. You offer no strength, no obedience. Ethan lifted his chin. Then maybe your trial is broken. Silence. Then laughter. Not cruel, curious. The figures stopped moving. Human. Ethan Cross, the voice said. You are not empty. You are unclaimed. The ground shook. That is rare. The sky above cracked open. Light poured down, lifting Ethan off the ground. He shielded his eyes as the chamber dissolved around him. He was falling again. Then he landed back in the royal chamber. Alira caught him before he fell. For a moment, she forgot she was a queen. She just held him. Lysera exhaled slowly. He survived, she said, not by power, by refusal. The council hologram flared. The trial is complete. Alira looked up. What is your judgment? The council paused. The human cannot be owned. Ethan laughed weakly. Nice to hear. May choose his path. Lysara raised an eyebrow, and the queen's, You will not fight over him, the council said. But you may walk beside him if he allows it. The pressure vanished. The ships outside powered down. Ethan straightened, still dizzy. So, he said, does this mean I can go home? Alira looked at him gently. You could, she said, if that is what you choose. Lysera stepped closer. But the galaxy now sees you, she added. Nothing will be simple again. Ethan looked at the stars outside the window, at unknown worlds, at two queens watching him. Not as property, but as an equal. He smiled, tired but alive. Then he said, I guess I should choose carefully. Somewhere deep in the ship, systems shifted because the Empire had just learned something dangerous. A human could not be owned, and that changed everything. The royal chamber felt different now, not quieter, but lighter. The invisible weight that once pressed on Ethan's chest was gone. Guards stood down. The council ships outside slowly moved away, their massive forms turning like sleeping giants. Ethan leaned against a smooth wall, breathing deeply. So, he said, no cages, no tests, no becoming royal property. Alira gave a small, rare smile. None, she said. You stood as free. The council cannot undo that. Lysara studied him closely, walking a slow circle around him. You embarrassed them, she said. They do not forget such things. That's comforting, Ethan replied. Lysera stopped in front of him. You should be afraid now, Ethan. Met her eyes. I've been afraid since I woke up, he said. It didn't stop me then. For a moment, Lysara said nothing. Then she laughed. A real laugh. Dangerous, she repeated. Very dangerous. Alira stepped forward. Ethan, she said, you cannot stay on this ship forever. I figured, he replied. I'm not exactly dressed for royal life. You may return to human space, Alira continued, or you may remain under my protection as an envoy. Ethan blinked. Envoy, a voice, she explained. Between humans and the Dominion, Lysara crossed her arms. The council will hate it, she said, which makes it interesting. Ethan rubbed the back of his neck. Let me guess, he said. If I say yes, I become a target. Alira nodded. Yes, and if I say no, you remain safe, Alira said. Softly but unseen. Ethan thought of Earth's small rooms, old routines, being just another name. Then he thought of the trial. Of standing while ancient beings looked into him. He looked up. I don't want to be owned, he said, but I don't want to hide either. Lysera's eyes brightened. Good answer. Alira placed a small device in his hand. This will protect you, she said, and allow us to speak. Ethan closed his fingers around it. Does this mean, he asked, you to stop fighting over me? Lysera smirked. We stopped fighting, she said, not watching. Alira rolled her eyes, slightly an almost human gesture. Another matter, she said. The chamber light shifted. A new hologram appeared. Dozens of alien faces filled the air commanders. Nobles, warriors, news spreads fast, Lysera said. Too fast. Alira's voice hardened. They call you the unclaimed human. Ethan winced. That sounds like a bad movie title. It is worse, Lysera replied. It is a symbol. The hologram shifted again. Another empire's symbol appeared sharp, red, hostile. Ethan felt a chill. Who are they? He asked. Lysera's smile faded. Our enemies, she said, and they want you. Alira looked at Ethan seriously. Because of who you are, she said, but because of what you represent. Ethan sighed. I just wanted a drink. Lysera stepped closer. Welcome to the galaxy, she said, where symbols start wars. Outside the window, distant alarms flickered back to life. Alira clenched her fist. They are testing us already. Ethan straightened. Then maybe, he said, it's time humans stopped being quiet. Both queens looked at him this time, not with curiosity, but with respect, because the unclaimed human had just chosen a side, not a queen, but a future. The alarms were low, controlled but urgent. Ethan could feel it in the floor, in the walls. The ship was preparing for conflict. Alira moved first. Seal the inner sectors, she ordered. No weapons, no threats. Lysera raised an eyebrow. Are being careful, she said. I am being watched. Alira replied. Ethan looked at the red symbol still floating in the air. So, he asked, who exactly wants me now? Lysera waved her hand, expanding the image. The Karnathi Union, she said. They believe strength is taken, not chosen. That sounds friendly, Ethan muttered. They have never accepted human independence, Alira added. To them, you are proof that freedom has power. The ship shook slightly. A voice echoed through the chamber. Unknown vessels approaching. Non-Dominion signature confirmed. Ethan's stomach tightened. Lysera smiled, sharp and focused. Did not wait, she said. Bold. Alira turned to Ethan. You will stay here, she said firmly. Respectfully, Ethan replied. That hasn't worked out for anyone so far. Before Alira could argue, the lights cut out. Then came the impact. The ship lurched hard. Ethan fell, catching himself on the wall. Red emergency lights snapped on. Hull breach in outer ring. The ship announced. Lysera's eyes burned. They are boarding. Alira looked at Ethan, her voice low. If they reach you, they won't, Ethan said. He didn't know why he said it, but he meant it. Footsteps echoed outside. The chamber, heavy metallic, not Gyran guards. The doors exploded inward. Tall, armored figures stormed in, their weapons glowing red. Their armor was brutal, sharp, built for fear. Karnathi soldiers' target acquired. One of them growled. They aimed at Ethan. Before anyone could move, Ethan stepped forward. Stop, he said. The soldiers hesitated. Not because of the word, because of the way he stood, straight, calm, unafraid. This is him, one soldier said. The unclaimed Alira felt it then. The shift, they were not looking at prey, they were looking at a risk. Ethan met their leader's gaze. You crossed into sovereign space, Ethan said. Over me, the leader laughed. You are nothing, it replied, a soft creature. Ethan nodded. Yeah, he said. That's what everyone thinks, right before humans changed the rules. The leader raised its weapon, Elira's power. Flared. Lysera's eyes lit with battle fire. But Ethan raised one hand. Wait, he said. He looked at the Karnathi soldiers. You want me? He asked. Then see me. Something ancient stirred again. Not in the ship. In Ethan the air shifted. The Karnathi soldiers froze, their systems glitching, their movements slowing. Not because Ethan attacked, but because he did not submit. The leader stepped back. What are you? It demanded, Ethan answered honestly. Human. The soldiers retreated slowly, uncertain. When the doors sealed again, silence returned. Alira stared at Ethan. You influence them, she said. I didn't try to, Ethan replied. I just stood. Lysera smiled, fierce and proud. That, she said, is why empires fear you. Outside, the Carnathy ships pulled back, not defeated, but warned. Ethan exhaled. So, he said, does this mean Envoy comes with hazard pay? Alira laughed softly, the first time since this all began. But far away, in the dark between stars, enemies were planning because now they knew the truth. The unclaimed human was not weak. He was unpredictable, and that was far worse. The stars outside were calm again. The Carnathy ships were gone, fading into dark space. Damaged crews moved across the hull, repairing scars left by the attack. Life aboard the flagship slowly returned to normal, but nothing was truly the same. Ethan stood at the viewing window. Alira stepped beside him. You faced an enemy without weapons, she said. Few rulers can claim that. I'm not a ruler, Ethan replied. Lysera joined them, arms crossed. Not yet, she said, but you influence them. That is power. Ethan turned to face both queens. I'm not here to rule anyone, he said. I'm here to make sure no one gets owned. Alira inclined her head. Then you will be remembered, she said, as something new. A platform rose from the floor behind them. Members of the Dominion's high command appeared, generals, scholars, leaders from many worlds. They bowed slightly, not to the Queen's dot, to Ethan. He froze. Oh no, he whispered, I did not sign. Up for this. Alira's voice carried across the chamber. Today, she said, we recognize Ethan Cross of Earth as the first free envoy of the Zyran Dominion. Lysera stepped forward. He kneels to no crown, she added. He belongs to no empire. The room echoed with agreement. Ethan swallowed. Can I still go home sometimes? He asked. A few commanders smiled. Alira placed a hand over her heart. You may walk between stars, she said. That is your right. Lysera leaned closer. And your curse, she added quietly. Alone with the twins again, what happens now? He asked. Alira looked out at the stars. Now the galaxy watches, she said. Lysera smirked, and waits for humans to speak. Ethan nodded slowly. Then maybe, he said, it's time. We did a small ship prepared for launch in the hangar below, human-built, modified with alien tech. A bridge between worlds. Ethan stepped toward it. Two queens stood behind him, not fighting, not claiming, walking. Beside him, as the ship launched into the stars, a message spread across empires, carried by light and fear. Humans were no longer just visitors. They were free, and the galaxy would never be able to own them again.